Hi everyone, Lisa here from Four City Stitching. I hope everyone had a good New Year's. Happy 2022. I have a lot of stitching to show because I've done a lot of stitching in the last few days because I've been off for about 3 days. I am obviously a day late and I'm not sure how consistent my videos will be moving forward over the next little bit, because it was announced today that we're moving back to virtual learning and there is more restrictions going back into place, like no indoor dining, 50% capacity in stores, etc. So here we go again. Yeah, so I am hiding in the basement. As you can see, the Christmas tree is still up. I don't know when it's going to come down, so you might see it for a little bit, depending on where I'm able to film and when I'm able to film. All right. Yeah. So it's kind of weird not doing a video after doing Flossmas. So let's get back at it, I guess. So I have been using the 2022 Book of Days, which has been very helpful, especially because I've been doing a lot of stitching over the last 3 days, as I mentioned. So in 2022, I am participating in the No New Starts Work Your Whip stream. So I worked very hard over the few weeks leading up to New Year's Eve to update a whip album with all starting photos and cover photos, etc. for all my whips. I don't even know what the total number is off the top of my head, but it's a lot. Yeah, but that's fine. I have lots of choices for this year to work on. And then, so with No New Starts, they are doing a year-long travel event where we are traveling across America to visit needle workshops. So it has been a busy first few days, I can just imagine, for the admins of the group, as it seems that everyone in the group is very, very active and very interested in participating. So yeah. But I think overall it is going very well, and I know I am enjoying the prompts. They have everything set up very well. Speaking of that, I think I printed a couple things that I should pick up on my way upstairs to kind of help me along with this adventure challenge. Yeah, so I have successfully made it to 3 needle workshops and did my shopping there. So that's why there's so much different things that I stitched on. I also did work on the Zodiac challenge that's in the main group as well. And right now I am working on stitching for my passport. So moving forward, when we stay at campsites, for example, in our travel for this year-long event, I won't need to do the travel stitching, I believe, or the camp registration for that. So I'm working away on that right now because that's a kind of a big chunk of stitching. So yeah, also this month I am doing Bringo with the monthly magazine challenge group that Carolyn Cezek Stitch is kind of hosting, and so that is also going well. And then of course I do have my whip board as well. So those, and then the other challenge that I decided yesterday to participate in semi-sign stitches, there's a this or that challenge, so one of my whips for Whip Go could meet one of those. So that's what the plan is for January. I think that we went over the Bringo board in one of my Flossmas videos, but I don't think I ever went over the Whipco board. So it's actually very similar to last year's in that I had a lot of pieces that weren't completed, so I just put them kind of back in right in the same spot. All right, so I'll tell you what I have on here. So I have a Peacock's Garden. I want that as a finish. Year Celebrations finish a month again, so that's in the number 2 column or number 2 spot, and that is has been picked for this month. So that's something that you'll see that I worked on yesterday. Endurance, my Hate is on there for 1,000 stitches again. Kitty Litter, which is a Dimensions kit, is on there for 1,000 stitches. Friends and Family Style from Linen Threads, finish a month. I don't think I ever got to that last year. Pandemic, 1,000 stitches again. Zimmerman Coverlet, 1,000 stitches again. Kringle's Finish Your Room, I didn't quite make that last year. Jack Frost Tree Farm, finished a section, I did do that. That's on there again. Snow Village, finished a section, I think I did do that. Maybe not, not sure. Laundry Series, finished one of them. Finished a section in Barbara Anna, I think I did do that. But that's on there again. Feline Love, 1,000 stitches, I didn't get to that. 2009 Prairie Schooler Santa, I want to finish that. Cinnamon Stars, 1,000 stitches, didn't get to that. A new one that I added in is the Elephants across this piece. This is a little freebie one. Finish that. Finish Rooster from the Barnyard Christmas from Prairie Schooler. Holly Jolly Farms is back on there for 1,000 stitches. That is also one of the numbers that was called for January. Finish Brouhaha, which was a freebie from Plum Street. 1,000 stitches for Bringing Home the Tree. That was on there last year. 1,000 stitches for Happy Camper again. Finish Pile of Joy. Finish Moose Joy. So that was an ornament from one of the Just Cross Stitch magazines. And the 1,000 stitches in Home for Christmas. So that's what Whipco is going to look like this year. All right. So, let's see here. I didn't really organize this very well. Oh, and I have decided to try to use Pattern Keeper a little bit more this year. Okay, so Linen Threads. So now they're changed the Mystery Sal Face Recruit to Fox and Rabbit to go along with their design company. They released obviously their Sal under Australian time, so it was released prior to midnight our time, Eastern Standard Time. So I was able to get that started before midnight on the 31st, so I was able to put that into my whip list for No New Stars Work Your Webs. So this is how far I've got. I've been working on it for most of the day today, as well as part of my stitching my passport for the Work Your Whips challenge. So the first piece is Humongous Border. This is 1 over 1 on 28 count Monaco, and I'm using the Leo and Roxy Floss Hickory. And I already ordered one more skein from Caroline, but I'm probably going to need to order more. So that's that. So that's stitching up really well. For the Stitch Your Passport, you need to do 2,500 stitches. And so we'll see where I'm at the end of the day for Pattern Keeper. But I should be like almost halfway there, I think. Yeah. And that pattern is pretty repetitive, so easy to stitch that way. So I was doing, let's do it backwards then. I was working on that today, as well as for Bringo. The spot that was called on the Bringo board was a Peacock's Garden for myself. And so I worked on that corner piece down there. And I got over 100 stitches in that. And I was able to put that towards something that I bought in one of the shops for the No New Starts travel thing. So I am trying very hard to double dip in the different groups for sure, to make it easier on myself. Okay, so that was today. Let's go to the first. Let's just jump all around. Okay, so then after, so I've stitched on Fox and Rabbit on the first as well, for a little bit, but then I also already used my freebie, and I used it for the Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along. So this is big the pieces, 16 count Aida. This is the top portion of the border that was released on the first. So this is how the length of the first release was. So I think it's gonna go in 3. I can't remember how I anticipated it to go. I think it's going to go January, February, March, April along the top, is what my guess is. That's what it is kind of looking like blurred out. I have no idea how to pronounce her name. In reading the little blurb, which I kind of want to reread, I believe she was a farmer's daughter. Jacob gives you alphabet to chart your name as well if you want, instead of the girl's name. But you wouldn't be able to do that till you got to April. So that's why I'm thinking it's January, February, March, April all along the top is what I think is going to happen. And if that's the case, then I should be good. Yeah. Right? I'm not going to run out of fabric. No. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, so that is how far I got on that. And so that was my one freebie that I used up right away. And I'm stitching that in Grunge by Leo and Roxy. I think I got lots of that, but I had ordered a couple extra just in case before Christmas, so I should be getting 2 Leo and Roxy floss orders. Whenever they're back in, I can run over and pick that up, because I am going to, for my Fox and Rabbit Mystery Sal, I'm going to use Leo and Roxy floss as the sections are released. Right now I'm just using the hickory for the border because that's all that's been released so far. Alright, so then also on January 1st, Never Ending Cycle was chosen for the Bringo. So I used that also towards the stitching for the traveling. I don't know which section I used it for, but so I finished the hangers up top. So that's what has been done there. I have to say, now that I have like everything kind of saved into a folder, on the cloud for like starting photos and things like that. That makes it a lot easier to post on different Facebook groups for sure. And then I worked on plum pudding, and that was for the Zodiac Challenge in the main group for No New Starts. So you're going to hear a lot about No New Starts this year because that's what I'm mainly focusing on. But it's keeping me busy and keeping me focused on my webs. So that's what we want to do, right? Apparently this fabric is falling apart. So that's how far I am on plum pudding. So a lot of the linen color and off-white color, like what do we have here? Eggshell is the apron, and the other white that you're seeing is parchment. Linen. That's what it's called, linen. But I think it'll look fine once the rest of the stuff is stitched in. So the prompt I used that for was a rat, and this is actually a new start. Unless you saw it in my Whipco or in my Flossmas. I don't know if you did or not, but it's a pretty recent new start. All right, and then yesterday I brought out Possum Song because it was in the Bringo board, and I worked mainly on this pumpkin over here, this flower, this acorn. There's a leaf that needs to go here and leaf over here, but I don't have that DMC, so it's on my list to buy. So that was for Bringo, as well as something in No New Starts. I think it bought me, I don't know what it bought me, something I think. And next I worked on red berries. So yeah, red berries from Modern Folk Embroidery. And it was for the Zodiac Challenge for Stitch on Something Green. And I'm doing that 1/1 with the Leo and Roxy floss. So this is dark sage. There's like a 28 count. It's tea-dyed. This is the dark sage color. And then yesterday I also stitched on Fox and Rabbit, which you saw already. Stitched on Your Celebrations. I don't know where the cover photo is. It's all mixed in here. So I'm using this for semi-sane stitchers as well. And this is on my Whipco. So I finished those snowflakes. So I did a lot of stitching before New Year's that I didn't set aside, but because I had a lot of things that weren't quite at 200 stitches, so I had a lot of things that I had to get up to 200 stitches. And then last but not least, last night I worked on Roosters and Hens by Little House Needleworks. And for the traveling piece, you had to stitch on something with a lady. I don't know anything fancy ladies, but there's a lady right there tending to the hens. It's going to be hard to see because the white stitching is not going to show up very well on camera. But this chicken's white, this chicken's white. There's a lot of white in the house. That's fine. Oh, this chicken's white down here too. It's fine. It is what it is. Like, if you're looking at the piece up close, you can see that there's chicken stitch there. And I guess in the end, if I wanted to, I could outline, backstitch the white stuff. So we'll see. Alright, I did get a finish right before midnight on the 31st, which was the model stitch I was doing for Karen KB Studio Creations, so you can't see that. I need to get into the mail to her. And I did fully finish something yesterday. It was a previously stitched piece that I'm going to send to my pen pal for January. But you can't see that because I'm going to gift it. Alright. I think that's everything. Hopefully I will be back on Sunday, but I'm not sure. Just because anytime I'm at work, then my husband's home, or anytime I'm at home, my husband's at work. As per our usual lockdown operating procedures. So, one of my coworkers tested positive on New Year's Day. Yes, New Year's Day. And we were in the office together the week of New Year's Eve, right? So last week. But I've had 2 rapid tests that were both negative, so I'm not really concerned. But, so, that's all I know. Hope everyone has a good night. And we will see you sometime next week. Or on Sunday. Bye.